Yeah. KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. Pure KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Got a new package that came in yesterday. This was sent to me by a viewer of the channel / a gentleman who has become a friend at this point. The man, the myth, the legend, good old Johnny B. For those of you who are not in the know, Mr. Johnny B is betterwise known as El Capitan, aka El Cap. Sweet man, Mr. John. I like to call him Johnny B. He wanted to send me a couple knives to check out. So I obviously said, fuck yeah, send it on in, bro. So we're about to dive into that. But first, if you do enjoy the content, I'd ask that you would share, like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe, goddammit. It does help the channel. It does trick that algorithm. And it does help your boy to go viral. Okay, enough of that. Still haven't gone viral yet, but we're still having a good goddamn time. All right, today's unboxing knife is a new acquisition that I put in the pocket for the first time yesterday. And this is the Ferrum Forge Stinger with the button lock apparatus. I'm digging it, very much so. Premium quality feel to it. Super fidgety as a fuck. Well executed. I did spine whack the hoe, and she stood her ground. Oh shit! All right, enough of that. Today is Saturday, and tonight we will be live in the Thebladecartel. Me and my partner in crime, Doobie Low. Tonight's a homie hangout night. For some of you people who are interested in coming to hang out with us in the live, we do these homie hangouts. And you're more than welcome to come on in. Share your collection, discuss some topics, whatever you feel like doing. I have reached out to a couple of people behind the scenes, you know, just normal people like yourselves. So, waiting to hear back. Enough of that. Like I mentioned, this is pure American dope. These are two knife models from a company that, when I first started collecting knives, this company was high on my list. You know, I didn't really, how do I say it? You know, like it was quick for me. You know, I had always carried a knife all throughout my life. Obviously, I'm a Puerto Rican with a knife, but I was totally unaware to the size of this EDC community. Totally unaware to the premium versions of knives. You know, all that good shit. And once I got that bug, it bit me hard. And like I said, this was a company that I had read about, I had learned about, and I had wanted. And then when I finally started experiencing the knives, I found out that that really wasn't the company for me. However, these two models were models that I had never checked out up to this point, and I wanted to. So fortunately, Mr. Johnny B decided to send me some of his personal ones. All right, let me fix this camera. All right, we got the two we're going to be taking a look at today are nothing new. These are classics. We've got the Infidel and the Osborne 940. I may be wrong on this, but I for some reason I feel as if the Infidel might be discontinued. For some reason I feel like that may be the case. If it's not, then I apologize. But let's dive into the Osborne first. All right, let's get up close and personal on this bitch, shall we? Drop the top. First off, I want to send a big shout out and thank you to Mr. Johnny B for sending these prized possessions down to me. Now this, I have bought a couple of Benchmades in the collection, or rather, I've had a couple in the collection. Only got two that are sticking around at this point. But the first two Benchmades I bought were the full size and mini of the Griptilian, the ones with the hole cut out. And I liked them. I really did at first. I ended up even buying aftermarket scales for the full size. But once I put them scales on, it changed the knife completely for me. I really didn't like it as much. Ended up selling it, but the mini still stuck around. Now let's check this one out. Okay. Right out the gate, this feels rather snappy. I've had, Benchmade is the creator of the access lock, and they had the patent on that lock for many years. I believe within the last two years, I'm thinking, maybe actually more than that, possibly. The last couple of years, that patent has expired, and every company underneath the sun has put their foot in the game and made their own attempt at the access lock. Of course, every fucking company's got its own name for the access lock. Now, these are executed well. Like I mentioned, they are the creators of the access lock. But that being said, there is a company that I think is doing it better at this point, and that is Kaiser. Of course, like I said, they have their own name for it, but theirs I understand a little bit more because they improved on it. They allowed it to be a adjustable access lock, and that changed the game. Honestly, it did. Their version of it is buttery smooth, just as buttery smooth as the Benchmade's, and you can adjust that tension to fit your preference. So that is that is another company that's doing these locks good. Now, I don't know if these are custom scales or if these are the stock scales, but I do like them very much so. Far more than the usual FRN, that they give you on those scales. This is a nice carbon fiber, has some good texture to it. A little bit of contouring there with a raised middle. Open back construction. I'm not too sure if I've ever, I have seen a couple of clamshells, but for the most part, they always are open back construction. You can see here that these are actually blue, anodized blue standoffs. Looks good. Nice stonewash finish on the blade. Now, at Blade Show, I did handle one of the most recent and controversial Benchmades, which is the Narrows. Controversial for the price. It's over $500. But I will tell you this, that it is a very nice knife. Very smooth, well built. Now, a lot of people complain about the price, and deservedly so. I do feel it's a little high, but, keeping in mind that it is American made. But if you listen to the fanboys, the Benchmade fanboys, and they have a point, you're paying for what they call the butterfly tax, and really what that encompasses is the warranty. Benchmade, possibly besides CRK, but Benchmade, as far as a production company, they are production knives. They offer the best warranty, hands down. So that's really what you're paying for, You're paying for the knife, and then you're paying for that warranty. I believe it's a lifetime warranty. But anyways, back to the knife. We have a nice sheep's foot style blade here. We've got the Osborne logo here on the back of the blade. And then we've got the butterfly logo, S30V. Lockup is nice and solid, no blade play. And even though it doesn't have a traditional detent, it is rather snappy. Let me put up a couple of knives just for some quick size comparison, and then we'll get to the next one. First up, possibly, or rather allegedly, the best Benchmade ever made to date, which is the Mini Presidio 2. Now, this one doesn't have the FRN. It has what they call Carbon Fiber Elite, and it does have a good feeling to it. So we can see that the Osborne 940 is bigger than the Mini Presidio. Next up, how about against the Mini Benchmade, or rather the Mini Griptilian. So we've got the, you okay, baby? We've got the Mini Griptilian, which is quite a bit smaller than the 940. And you can see there, so the Osborne is the bigger of the two. Let's put up a couple more. These are other knife brands that have stuck their foot in the access lock game. First up is going to be the Real Steel Huggins. Now, the Huggins is well executed, I will admit. It is smooth, not as drop shutty as the access lock, but it nonetheless is a solid lockup for sure. So there we see the Osborne is a little bit smaller than the Huggin. Last up, just talked about it, and that is going to be the Kaiser Escort. They just released a couple of new versions of the Escort with new handle materials. Not necessarily sure if it interests me, but wish they did that out the gate. But here we can see that the Osborne is a little bit smaller than both of these. Now, these aren't new, you know, these Benchmades we're taking a look at obviously aren't anything new. They've been around forever, so this isn't the first time you're seeing it. I do know that people always complain about the behind the edge thickness on this. That's what I've always heard as far as complaints go. But we're about to find out. About to pull out the infamous caliper that was sent to me from an anonymous viewer. Don't know how I feel about that, because number one, don't know who it was. Number two, don't know how the hell they got my address. But we're going to put this to use. Let's see. Kind of hard to do this behind the camera, but we will make an attempt at it. So according to my caliper, we've got come on now. Come on. $35 thousandths behind the edge right there is what I'm getting. Let me do it off camera, that way I can line it up a little bit better. 130 thousandths. Okay, so 130 thousandths behind the edge is what I'm getting. But I think it's rather slicey, man, to be honest with you. I think it'll be perfect EDC. I'm digging it. I may try to snag one of these on the secondary. All right, let's get to the next one. This next one is one that, full disclosure, when I started getting into knife collecting, I felt that I had to have an OTF. That's kind of what sucked me in hard. You know, when I was a young man, I remember that OTFs were illegal, you know, everywhere. Switchblades is what we called them back then. They were illegal. You couldn't have them. You know, it was like, oh my God, a switchblade. But times have changed, thank God. Shout out to Knife Rights, Doug Ritter doing his goddamn thing. But this was one that I had wanted. And then I saw the price tag. I believe these are also over 500. And like I mentioned, I think they have been discontinued as a model. I'm not 100% sure. But this one says it is from 2018. So let's check this out the gate. We've got a nice, it's got some weight to it. Aluminum construction is what I'm assuming, right? Gotta be aluminum. I can't imagine it being steel. It is rather heavy though. I wonder if I got a magnet next to me, which I don't. But anyways, we've got a OD green color here on the main part of the handles. We've got some nice black recessed screws. Actuator button is black. Pocket clip I could have done without that word infidel on it. I think it looks a little bit cheesy. I would have just much rather either the butterfly logo or just altogether nothing. Let's see how this goes. Kind of spongy on this actuator. You can see I think they claim that that's a safety feature. You know, that they kind of make it to where you have to actuate it a little bit before it actually deploys. But I tell you what, I do love that blade shape. We have a double-edged dagger, black DLC coated finish, Benchmade word there on the front. And then on the back, we've got designed by McHenry, S30V, Benchmade.com. Now, according to Johnny B, he's never had a failure with this knife. And it appears to be firing consistently. I do believe that Johnny B is contemplating selling this. So if anyone's interested in that, either reach out to me or reach out to the man himself. So there we have that. I only got one auto in the not my collection, because this isn't mine, but I only have one auto present, which is the infamous Wraith by Heretic. This Wraith tried to take me out a few weeks ago, but it wasn't successful. As far as this one is an out the side auto, but definitely not as spongy on that actuator. You push it and it fires right out. As far as overall length goes, the Infidel's actually just a hair bigger. Absolutely. Now let me put up a couple other knives, some non-autos for some size comparison. keeping it all American made. First up, going to be the Spyderco Manix 2, which was my first Spyderco ever in the collection. We can see the Infidel is bigger than that. More American vibes. How about that Spyderco Yojimbo 2? Once again, no match for the size of the Infidel. Let's do 2 more. God damn it, 2 more. 2 of these you should definitely be familiar with at this time because they are legendary. First up is that Parrot 3. Once again, no match for the overall size of that Infidel. Last but surely not least, the counterpart, which would be the PM2 Tonto rendition. Also no match for overall size. Now, people say, I guess the word on the street is, you know, it's kind of sacrilegious to be a fan of both, of Spyderco and Benchmade. Don't necessarily know why that would be. You know, they both are American companies, so regardless, you should still stand behind them. But that's what we got for today. Just a quick little video, quick unboxing. Once again, shout out to the man Johnny B for sending these down to me. Johnny and I have been through a lot lately. Yep. We had that whole Vero shenanigan, that whole E-Knife shenanigan. Quick update on that though. I did finally receive a reply email from Coco. She's the owner, allegedly. She claims that, number one, she apologized, but she wanted to tell me that detent was, what was the word she used? That basically a good detent was, it varied from person to person as far as what that would mean. But that she did apologize and that going forward, she would ensure that Mr. Clay would do all the QCing. I'm assuming Clay must be her husband. So, you know, they kind of accepted, told me I could send it back, but I believe Johnny B wants me to keep it at this point. So that's the update on that. There you have it. Benchmade Infidel, Benchmade Osborne 940. What do you fuckers think? Are y'all Benchmade fans? Tell me all about it. Let me know in the comments. Be sure to tune in tonight to the Thebladecartel Live. And if you're looking for some Benchmades to add to your collection, be sure to check them out on DNK Knives. Shout out to Don Farmer. And when you do find that knife, whether it's a Benchmade or any other knife, be sure to use code KnifeDope for 10% off your purchase. Save yourself some goddamn money. I would. Love you, mean it. Until the next time, cut something, cut someone, just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!